What's up, everybody? It's Life Coach D coming at you, and I'm coming at you once again with Vision Chronicles. So as I left off in the last video, I was talking to you about my junior year and some of the things that happened. I'm during that process, talked about me being introduced to employment and just matriculating through life. So on comes my senior year. And I'll start off with the devastating reality of what happens when you're put into a special education system that has set you up to fail. Keep in mind, I was telling you guys before in the video that I was very good in math in 8th grade, and going into 9th grade, they put me in remedial courses for fear of me not being able to read the small numbers and being able to keep up in class. Not one time did they ever ask me if I was capable of doing it. That's a whole nother story. It stole my voice. I got my voice back to a certain extent, but the damage was done. So as I'm in this place where I'm now thinking about college, I'm looking at track. I'm thinking, can I get a scholarship to go any different places? One of the things I was very, very assured that I was going to do was go to college, but I decided, I think between my junior and my senior year, that I wanted to go to a HBCU, and I applied to several HBCUs. But let me talk about the math thing before I get there. So I go into my senior year and I'm having to take algebra because I need algebra to transfer. I'm talking to counselors, but I'm also talking to people outside of the school that's helping me with this matriculation process. And sure enough, I go into this class. Keep in mind, I haven't done math at this point for 3 years. Coming out of 8th grade, very, very good at algebra. I failed that class because I just had a teacher that didn't care, to be honest. He wasn't a good teacher, and I just didn't do well. And not only did that hurt me academically, but it also hurt me as I entered college. So let me say this, I applied to 7 schools. All in out of the state. I think I went to 1 in-state school, but I ended up decided to go to Tennessee State University. A shout out to the Aristocrats of Band, because I was a drummer there, and also shouts out to the TSU Christian Coalition, and also just to the Tigers in general, because I had an amazing time when I went to college. But let me back up just a little bit, because I brought up the band, and I forgot that this was another important part of life. So between my junior and my senior year, I had always been fascinated with drumming. Your mom would just pretty much cuss me out all the time. Not literally cuss me out, but just stop beating. You know, I'm beating on the walls, I'm beating on the tables, I'm beating on my knee, I'm beating at the dining room table, or whatever. So I took a leap of faith. Keep in mind, I'm visually impaired. So reading music is virtually impossible because it's small and there's a lot of things going on. What I did not say too, and I'll say this now as well, I started playing guitar about 7, 8 years old. But once again, that's about the time my vision started leaving. So started leaving, and so it was very, very hard to see the notes and things of that nature. And but music has always been inside of me, so I took a leap of faith, and I'll never forget while I was working at Red Lobster. This is before the whole thing that went down, and I ended up leaving. The band teacher showed up at the restaurant. I decided to sit down and talk to him. I said, hey, I don't know if I can say his name, but hey, band teacher, here's what's going on. And I explained to him about my vision. I told him, I said, man, I'm willing to work hard. I would love to be in the band. And I just was very vulnerable when I explained it to him. He allowed me to go ahead. He told me what to do to sign up and all of that. And at that time during the summer, I began to take drum lessons. Now, keep in mind, I'm driving myself back and forth because I now can drive. It's up the street, and I'm comfortable with it. My family was comfortable with me driving, small amounts of places, not too far at that time. Because once again, still concerned about the vision or whatever. So I had an amazing drum teacher, and I learned, my rudiments and things of that nature. And I ended up getting into the high school band as a senior, which was an amazing experience. And I just think I'm gonna call him Mr. S, who went to Lincoln. He went to HBCU as well. I'm just calling him Mr. S at this point, because once again, just for names or whatever. With all that being said, it was the best experience I could have, because I'm now doing something else I enjoy, and once again, I defy the odds. But look at this guy who has to go into this class and can barely read music, or it was hard to read music, who had favor with a teacher who's willing to overlook that. And when I could play, the stuff that I could read, I did it. But if I couldn't, he understood it. It was just an amazing feeling. But to get into the marching band was amazing, because we did some amazing things. And once again, I don't know to this day how I was able to do that. Learn music, learn dance moves, learn full-on for choreography with the visual impairment. And I just go back to saying it's because I was resilient, and I was never going to take no for an answer. so not only do I do that, but I leave high school being accepted to Tennessee State University, where I went through a lot of adversity there. That's a whole nother story. But I also walk on to their band, and I'm able to play in the Aristocrats band as a freshman. And it was the best feeling, again, because now I'm doing something on a bigger stage. I'm traveling from different states. We're competing against other HBCUs, and it was the best experience that I could ever even imagine. I mean, college in itself was good, but all of this is a result of me being resilient and really being a man of faith, and not being fearful, not being afraid to step out and do what people said I couldn't do. Now, keep in mind, I told you, they told me that I should not prepare for a license, that I should not prepare to go to college because I won't be able to do it. And they also said that pretty much my future was with a blind man's cane and a seeing eye dog, and I defied all those odds. I'm a living witness that you can do anything you put your mind to. So with that being said, I always want to leave you guys with something to think about. Don't let anybody tell you what you're not able to do. When somebody tells you what you can't do, go out of your way to prove to them that you can do it. Or when people come into your lives and they tell you what you're not able to accomplish, make sure you have enough stubbornness and self-will inside of you to prove them wrong. Because people can pronounce death sentences over you, but it's up to you to say, I don't care what you say, you're not going to dictate how far I go in life. Okay, we are the self-architects of our own destiny, and we decide and we determine what we're going to do. And I say we because this is an encouragement to anybody who may be watching this video. You can do anything you put your mind to, and don't let anybody tell you differently. That is what I have. So until you guys hear from me again, I want you to your lives are very valuable. Much love. God bless. Peace be the journey. And Vision Chronicles will continue.